So YouTube, it keeps recommending videos because of what my search is. And the market maker thing's coming up now. This is the Steve Morrow. This is the ICT. This is retail traders versus institutional traders versus the government. So you can look at the map. I found a few maps on the internet of the liquidity provider. Seems like it's the U.S. government. Then they have fractional reserve banking. They go to the big banks, and then you have smaller banks, and you have in between that all the execution platforms. It's so funny because somebody has one called Lava FX. This is the very first platform. I remember. I don't know if it's still around because I just went for a search for Lava FX, and people were poo-pooing the MT4 platform. It's just not professional. So I saw the entry rules, and whenever I see the word rules, I get really triggered. I feel like the man's coming down on me. And this is setups with the moving average system, it looks like.
Or near the lower high of the day. Okay? So very important. Very important. Second leg. We do not, let me go back here just so. We do not want to trade the first leg. If you look at this example here, if you would have traded the first leg of the W, you would have been waiting there for over 3 to 4 hours.
And I think he means this first entry here. It's a 15-minute chart. And if I only had a hammer bot, like if I had somebody's talking about the candlestick recognition thing, I do believe it is possible for a robot to perceive a small body, almost a dragonfly, gravestone. And if he's only putting trades on there, robot could scan a 15-minute chart for that while you're sleeping or whatever. Here's a half hour of nothing. But again, this is the 15-minute chart. And I do think that I would accumulate here. It would take more work. He's going to say that it is grueling to get in here and wait this fucking long. When what most people preach, and I'm sure he's going to preach, and everybody does, is you need to have patience. Well, if you don't have patience, then you just get on the 5-minute chart. You just get your hotkeys out and go for it. And you trade on that Lava FX platform. CurrentX Hotspot Integral is the latest. You're just pressing a button. So I looked at those platforms because I want to understand what these people are talking about, the market makers and the retail traders. They're running the market up to trick you to think it's going up, so you buy here. Here's where the goobers get in because they're so excited. But maybe you are trading so big you realize that these moves here, that you made so much money and you kept accumulating every time it retests, every time it failed, and every time it got to here, you maybe cashed out or you just held. So this is what I think it's called the campaign. In Wyckoff theory, it's called the campaign. This accumulation phase underneath the structure, without regard to his moving averages, that the whole time we are trapped below here, and this is supposed to be a bottom, right? This is the bottom that's supposed to become a top, and it does not happen. And these are just auctions based on the fact that there's a swap, right? So every time it rolls over and they figure the swap on your account, the longer you hold the position, that is why you're getting these, they call them resets. Everybody has a different, like once you get into this, you go down such a rabbit hole. It really comes down to terminology. One guy's pullbacks, another guy's oversold or reversal, or that's his triangle, that's your flag, that's your channel, that your People say, well, channels, they do. Well, I mean, vibrations happen where the vibration dies out in such a way that, yes, there are paths that are not completely so static that there is no continuity to the way something decays for whatever reason. And as the spreads tighten, it changes the pattern on the whole picture too. And as liquidity comes in and out, so there's a lot of money on the sidelines, or there's a lot of money that's got exit points, and there are stops in there. There are systems that obviously are taking when as soon as price changes, either coming at the market or they had a pending there. So we don't know and we don't care because it's just the normal behavior of the market. The weather, depending, in fact, you got plenty of time. He says there's 2 hours of dreaded pain here waiting for this move. Also, every time, this is where, if you know how the positive and negative reversals, or the divergence people call it, that I think he's got the 200, looks like a 100 period moving average, I'm going to say with a 20 EMA with a 5 or something. His 100 period moving average here on the 15, when you start to dip into it, interestingly, it is more oversold here at almost a slightly higher price. So, that's why this entry is worth some money, because it's more oversold than it was here. So it's deeper into the moving average, and here is super deep in. But it is not at a higher price now. So, and all this is happening, in the line chart basis, something like that. And so he's one of these market maker guys that says, well, this is the Asian session. That's not where your rectangle goes. Your rectangle goes here. Right? This is the trap. This is the first failed breakout in Asia on the 15. This is the wick from hell where all your pendings, or no, that's not the wick, that's his fucking rectangle. So this is another big problem with these guys. They're like, well, this is got some guys in the comments. So what time is the Asian session? Dude, it's about volatility. It's the sessions, whatever the session is. It's like dating a psycho babe. Okay, whatever she wants to do. Okay, you can't predict it. This is the range. It's very much tripped that, and then here is the trap below. This is the first auction in Asia. His Asian session's a joke. It doesn't matter. What matters is this. There's a hole left behind because of this price behavior. This price action has created the landscape, not the session. We don't care when, and he'd call this a level. In his, and he also would say, is people, well, it depends what time frame you're on. No shit. And look at the vicious victim here. Look at that. Here is supposed to become a bottom. It doesn't. It fails. It golfs again. Now we're trapped in the middle of fair value. Never took this out. Meanwhile, there's a vacuum forming behind that. Comes down. Now, there's people that have limits here because of this move. They know that this level exists, and they want everything below. And they get it. And they get it again and again and again. But his interpretation of this is that we don't want to buy the first leg of the W because we have to wait for. But dude, it's giving you, like, it's just a gift that keeps on giving. It's like these things in the news. You watch these people in the news and you're like, oh my God, you're that fucking stupid. And still here we have no moving average. Notice the moving averages have not crossed over into the big 100. And this is why people will claim, well, you need a 200. This is your giant filter. Well, you probably do on the 50-minute chart. Then our first, and then don't forget we have a vacuum here that's piling up on wicks. That's like the first kind of like fail, but there's less vacuum. There's more vacuum contour on the bottom of this than on the top, right? These are These are huge voids. And then we don't have that on the top side. We just have one void here and a kind of little baby void there. So the pressure's building up like a jigsaw. And here is the first kind of collapse trap. So we've been just getting all quiet, and then this Asian session thing is so I try to do session things. I mean, I tried this for a long time. I'm just saying I could never get it to work because I have to follow what the market's telling me. This range is critical here. This is the close. We don't change much coming into the next session. It's very narrow. Nobody's taken any type of position. Sellers come in. They run out of gas once they fill this, once they fill that, and then here comes the insanity. Other markets from around the world open up, and you actually have a trading exchange for a while. And then this void, I think, is just too utterly, it's just a magnet for price. And this one has been filled. So we filled this hole down here. And it's like auction with a crayon. Auction with a crayon. And then let's go through the charts here. So it's psychological for this guy, and he doesn't like to wait. You can tell in his voice. I sped him up though. I'm at 1.75.
And we would have been literally an emotional wreck, waiting for this thing to go. So we always wait.
He would be an emotional wreck waiting for this thing to go up. So we always wait for the second one. But here's where I'm an emotional wreck. That if I don't buy this one and I see this move, I'm like, fuck. God damn it. I wish I was in this thing. And I could have scalped out right into the dojis or right into this floor. I could have got the first scalp off the table. Okay, man, now let's come back in with limits, or let's fucking really. So I did this in the British pound one morning years ago when I first started trading Forex, and I sat there, and this was not agony. I just kept on scalping for 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, and by the time I got here, I'd built the account up. Now this is without stops, and I took the account from $200 to $500 in the morning, and then I just rolled this out. I said, yeah, I know what's going to happen in the big picture. So I just kept on doing that. Bam, 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 bam. And blammo. And it was some news event. It looked just like this chart, actually. I doubt it is. I don't think this goes back that far, but holy shit, right? And of course, I did this I'll never forget the yen. It was right when the Bank of Japan did some kind of thing. And it went like this, and I thought, holy shit. And I cashed out. I made 80 pips. I came back with buy limits, and the motherfucker came all the way to here and blew up my account and then took off like this. I'm not kidding you. So this idea that, well, this is for certain going to be the next pivot, there's no certainty, unfortunately. It's a very cruel hoax. For anybody. I mean, it wouldn't matter for the country or for a big bank, because a big bank is not scalping. But if you're in big, and that's why they say retail traders are losing. Yeah, because they typically fucking think they're a sniper and they're scalping and their spreads suck and their commissions may be high. And of course, right. I mean, you're kind of like this guy. You're in excruciating pain. Right? He's in excruciating pain.
The M or W at or near the lower high of the day. Okay.
We always try the second leg of the M or W, so at least he's waiting for confirmation. But sometimes we don't get it.
So very important.
And that's agony for me.
Very important. Second leg. We do not. Let me go back here just so. We do not want to trade.
He says we do not twice. It's so cute. We do not.
The first leg. If you look at this example here, if we would have traded the first leg.
Also, don't forget my rule of down hard buy the market. So here's my entries market order technique is it's down hard buy at the market, buy at the market, buy at the market, buy at the market. So you're long how many things here? Up hard, cash out. So here in this much time, down hard buy, cash out. The trigger is that you see it go up. So it's sell, sell, sell. You're up on this one. You're up on that one. This one maybe got stopped out. You'd still have to be aware of this situation, that this is filling, and maybe your limits are up there and you're already up on this trade, this trade. So you've got to have all sorts of backup plans. I say trade this one instrument, trade one fucking currency pair, and just trade the fuck out of it. There's no need to go looking at another currency. If you're on the British pound, look at all the fucking money here. Bam, 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 bam. You want to be this guy, or do you want to be like, I loaded up so fucking hard here. As soon as I got above here, I cashed out, went and took a nap. You know, why be a slave to this shit? You're not filling orders. Institutional trading is fucking hilarious, dude. It's just, because these guys are trading a bunch of money, they're just placing an order for somebody. They're not scalping the market on London breakup. They're not trying to make a ton of money in 8 hours. And they'll take them 8 days to put the trade on it. Some guy's going to sit in the front of the platform and go, well, what do you think of a good price, Joe? Oh, I don't know. Here, pull the trigger. Okay, guaranteed execution. Went through the Reuters platform. We have totally insured. This is a real trade. This isn't some bucket shop. Yeah, this is a real account. Yeah, I mean, sure that blood test kit doesn't work, but this is a real account. We have real investors. Look at our thing. Yeah, Citigroup. All these people. Yeah, we're a real institution. Sure, we lost your account. Yeah, I know. Sir, I'm sorry that your zeros. Okay, so maybe we steered a little wide on your account. And look at this thing roaring back here. Like, who's not coming in with the buy limit? If you're flat the market right now, who's not just thinking, okay, what the fuck? I think I'll put a buy limit here, one here, see what happens. Maybe they don't fill me. But I'm almost guaranteed you're probably going to see it come back to here maybe. At least here. In fact, if you bought one at the market right now, if this is the end of 15 minutes, bought one at the market, throw limits in, that's the only answer for this trade. Unless you want to sell it now, you could sell it now. You can put your stop here. You can put your stop at the last 15-minute bar. I'm really contrarian as far as entry. I'd rather not get filled. I'd rather have a limit here and just walk away.
You would have been waiting.
Put a limit right here, He's going to talk about the waiting again. So I got to get back to his impatient, his psychological disturbance of trading.
In there for over 3 to 4 hours. And we would have been literally an emotional wreck.
I'm an emotional wreck. I can't take it.
Waiting for this thing to go. So we always wait for it to develop. The only time that you will not wait for it to develop an M or W is when you have railroad tracks, Morningstar, Evening Star, or a cord of wood. That is the only time that you do not wait.
A cord of wood. I don't know what that is.
Every other time you're going to wait for that M or W to develop. All right? All right, so.
Wow. Oof.
Let me go back here. All right, second
if you see a Morningstar.
What candlestick, you need to identify basically what candlestick pattern they are showing you. If you cannot identify what candlestick pattern they're showing you, you cannot take the trade. Okay? It just makes sense. We are in.
They're showing you. The market makers are showing you. Don't forget, this is all like we're a slave to the market maker.
80 to 90% business. We are not in the gambling business. We're not in the 50% business. We're in the 80 to 90% business. So if you cannot tell what pattern it is.
What is a cow pattern? Well, I stumbled into some type of next level Scientology.
You're not trading. As simple as that. Okay? I know a lot of people get so anxious.
Instead of cross the bridge, it's called tunnel under.
They feel like they're missing out because they're not in the market. Okay? Get over that crap because that crap's going to blow your account.
No, it's not. Because I just get in small positions so that I don't have the agony that this guy has.
All right? So second leg of the M or W, pattern near the high of the day. Know what candlestick pattern.
I found the cure for my trading problems. I worked around it with the scripts and just saying, you know what, this is how I trade, this is how it is, and just deal with it. I mean, I don't think I'm going to trade pure giant ticket Gartley entries.
You're looking at whether it's an M or W, railroad track, a cord of wood, Morningstar, Evening Star. Okay, if you don't
that's
know,
cord of wood. Sorry, cow, cord of wood. Wow, this is interesting territory. I've never been here.
You're not trading it. All right, and then here's your entry trigger. We need to close above or below the 13 EMA, above ketchup.
Okay, this. Oh, there you go. There's the ketchup. Well, would you fucking know it? Now I see why. Hannah, I almost called her Anna. Hannah Forex. I'm seeing it now. Right, the potato. That's what they say. It's a computer. Ketchup. I get it.
But below ketchup. Okay.
At 13 is Alexander Elder. It says like kosher ketchup.
You do not enter the trade until the candle is closed above or below the 13 EMA ketchup. Okay. So if you're waiting for a second leg W, you are not entering that trade until the second leg of the W has closed above the 13.
Now, this is how this poor guy called so-and-so, he was on my stream a couple weeks ago, and he went and traded, he went to go trade stocks. He was so frustrated because somebody gave him this bullshit fucking thing. They charged him like a couple grand for this wonderful advice of, okay, unless you get a cord of wood, you get yourself some railroad tracks. I see railroad tracks, yeah, but my EMA ketchup's just a little bit stale and moldy. I don't think I can take the trade. The market goes on without you, and you're like, but I back tested this fucking setup with the cow and the tracks and the ketchup, and it's just not working out. I ain't getting no fills.
EMA, and I'll show you that on the chart.
Oh, it's just brutal, man. It's just so sad. And of course, who's gonna fucking do the exact same rules that everybody else does? Like, there's no fucking way. I'm never going to be able to do it. I tried so hard. I've had people say, you're driving the car wrong. So I was on vacation once, and hey, you want to drive? And then people are criticizing my driving. I was like, okay, I'm ready to just pull over, step out, and walk. I'm done. See you, bye. But that's just me. So I don't have really a tolerance for, okay, I think this guy, we close up, I'm writing this down, we close above the below EMA, okay. I don't think that's just, I don't want to, this kind of, why not the 12 EMA? Can I get better entries? Yeah, you're a little earlier to the game, it's a little higher risk, you'll make more money, but.
Okay. If you're using TDI, you're basically going to use the TDI as a second set of confirmation, and what you're looking for is for the RSI to cross above or below the signal line.
What is TDI confirmation? And here's the signal line again. Wow. And then people will say, well, sometimes, you want to break some of these rules.
And above or below the market baseline. And we'll go over that.
Don't you love that?
When we make the TDI video.
When do I do that? Well, she's really hot. You don't give a fuck if she's on heroin.
Okay. So let's go ahead and look at some examples. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the charts, and we'll take a look.
Hopefully he's going for random stuff, not cherry picked.
All right, guys, welcome back. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got. Okay. So we'll start here, and I'm going to go ahead, and this is my Asian box range, and I'm going to put it in place here.
Once again, he gets this wrong. He can't understand what an auction is. His Asian box is like, dude, to me, this is Asia. This is like, so what I call Asia is like dead in the fucking water, no price action, or lack of volatility, let's just say. Okay, what could possibly go wrong? Well, we're either going to break out here or here. And when we do break out, when do we stop tanking into this void that we left behind? We never make it to here. So my limits that I put down here didn't get filled. But all these limits got filled. And all these limits did not get filled unless I let them expire longer. And even if they did get filled, I'm up on the trade because I've locked in a winning hedge. If I'm long into these sell limits, and the ones that start here are cashing out to go the other way, in a perfect world, we would know exactly the moment this is going to stop, and maybe this is tripping into a window back here that is on the weekly chart for all we know. This last gust of wind into the market makers are tricking the retail guys to go long here. Can't you see what's going on? Don't be one of those goobers. Okay. I mean, this is like retarded. And he's missing this great fucking scalp here. He's got a buy limit here, 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 here. He put in a 10K or 100K and 10Ks. Cashes out into the floor. Maybe he lets the rest go. He doesn't even buy this pullback. He lets the rest go and he's like, woohoo, like that fucking trap trading. But no, this goober fuck puts his, I'm putting the Asian box in just like I was told by the market maker theory. What a fucking idiot. Why do these people bother? And then they come on the fucking YouTube, parade it out as, well, yep, I'm scared. I mean, I got no patience to trade myself, but let me show you how to trade. You could die.
All right, so there's my Asian range right here.
That's Asian range. What's he using it for?
And then look what happened here on this example. We have market makers went ahead and moved higher than the Asian.
The market makers went ahead and moved. No, the price went up, dude. There's no hidden hand. There's no hidden hand. It's just the price. There was more buyers than sellers. You make it sound like the market makers are just offering these prices up and nobody's taking the other side of the trade. And all the market makers are making money, but not you. And all the banks are making money, but not you. All the banks are making money. Who's taking the other side of the bank's trade? Retail guys? In how many trillions dollars a day? Come
on. High. Right? So we moved to higher. Now, look what happened here. This is what I'm talking about. So this right here is a railroad track.
A railroad track? Wait a second. Is this what it looks like? I've never... Wait, back that up a little. I missed this. A railroad track.
Market makers went ahead and moved higher than the...
Oh, because it kept going up?
Asian high. Right? So we
Maybe I misjudged this guy. This railroad track and cow shed, I'm really fascinated.
To higher. Now, look what happened here. This is what I'm talking about. So this right here is a railroad track. You see how both bodies are the same? Right? And then look what happened.
Both bodies are the same. Never heard of this.
We immediately just dropped. Right? We didn't come down, make an M, and then come down. Right? We went ahead and we literally just went up, faked everybody out, and then made railroad tracks, got the hell out of there.
But all that is it's an engulf pattern. It's also a pure, on the half-hour chart, it's an inverted hammer. So what?
Okay.
Is it the only time that happens? Is the railroad track? Railroad track meets cow. Here's a railroad track. You're talking about engulf pattern, I think.
So this would have been your trade. On this example, this would have been your trade here. You know, this whole thing. All right. Now, based on...
Would have been. Look, this is the doji entry here at the trend traders. The only hesitation in that whole thing where they bounce off this, which I do believe is caused by this top. You get a little flicker here of, is this a support? And then you carve out this zone. Here's all the buy limits are getting filled. And here's we have the biggest buy limits of all time here. And you got long on this. From the trap standpoint, trapping the retail goober breakouts. Market makers against goobers.
Rules, right?
Rules are rules, people.
Your entry should have been here. Stop loss here.
Your entry should have been here. Why so late, Theodore? I don't get it. If this is the railroad track, after I perceive the railroad track, don't I just want to hit the fucking button? Not to mention, I've got a trailing stop bot running. Another thing you could do is if you had a robot that you could turn on and off with a hotkey, we'd probably just say, okay, it's time to run the sell stop bots. I don't want to keep placing cancel replace, but I'm going to turn that bot on. And it's going to get pretty hog long with a bunch of scaled exits, so it's a hard stop entry. I turn on the stop bot as soon as we start going up, and here we're running sell stops coming underneath the market, and our first fill is at the railroad tracks. How magical. How fucking retarded. And then it doesn't put any, and it doesn't get any new trades going because we never have a higher low to put in an order, right? And it rides the whole thing back, cashes everything out, and also gets in heavier on the small true range bars. So this is a small true range bar here, and it's got a very fat sell ticket, where these sell tickets on this bar aren't that big maybe, and they've canceled and replaced. So as each robot steps out, he comes back and replaces his order, and when the small bars come in, we have bigger bots come in on those small bars, just like this. The small buy bot bars, or this is the ultimate kind of like breakout volatility here. Really the only instance on this chart on the 15 where you get this extreme lack of volatility, and bam, this is like the only other time it dries up. But if you turn off your Asia bots here and turn your limit bots into Asia, you have the limit bots on to capture these moves. If you're flat into the close of day and then you have limits, you start out with limits and then you're going to trade at the market if need be. But if your limits are filling here and you got buy stops, when it's dropping, you're running buy stops with front loaded limits in front of the market.
Okay. And stop loss is going to be 5 to 10 pips or so from the high. So around there.
Wow. Well, I give it that much room. So that's a retarded place to place a stop. I place a stop right here or right here. If you're going to do that, you're going to get in this late. Jesus. Like you're going to get in here and you're going to put a stop up here on the 15-minute chart. After you've seen railroad tracks, why don't you just pull the fucking trigger? I still don't get these people. You know, they say stuff, and they go, here's my pattern, and then they're like getting in late. What, because we broke below we broke below the 13 EMA. What the fuck was I thinking? I forgot what he said earlier in the rule list. Another dumb shit rule. You're gonna sell if we break below the 13 EMA. You didn't break here, you didn't get caught in that stupid trade. So yeah, you sold here then with that theory. And then you got whipsawed to death here. Well, I did the same thing here. Broke, see it? Went below the 13. I sold right here. See how that worked out? Ruh-roh. Didn't go down. It worked over here when I got in earlier. I was waiting for confirmation. Can't anybody see the flaws in these stupid fucking systems that people are talking? Look at this fucking idiot. God damn it, man. Can't think. He must have just started trading, so we'll just give him the naive break.
Right now, once you take the trade, the goal is to get between 30 to 50 pips. Okay.
So the goal is not the structure of the market's goal; it's to get 30 to 60 pips. He's got a pip target, not based on structure. I'd be like, well, gee, I wonder if they're going to go hunt down these fuckers over here. The stop hunters, right? I'm surprised he didn't mark this off immediately when he said Asian session. Can't you see the trap? Aren't you buying there? That's your target. Target's not a pip target, is it? I guess I have a stop here and my target's here. If you can, and then he'll say, if you can make 30 pips a day, you're doing good. Okay, that's. Why aren't you making 90 and then 20 and then 14 and 28? Whatever the market's gonna fucking tell you that it can do for you, because it can't fucking do. What makes you think you get 30 pips because you want 30 pips? I think I'd be cashing out of something right into this thing and starting to accumulate, because it turns out that this bottom becomes a top later on. And if I accumulate this hole that we're falling into, irregardless of his insane checklist and his railroad tracks and cord of wood.
In this example here, we would have gotten 50 pips, 51.2, right?
Yeah, but you're extending your target out. If you trade right to the fucking end of that, come on. Besides, you're not going to get, yeah, right. You got to get out at the ask, and that's not the ask. That's the bid. That's what you sold it at, dude. You can't mark off those wicks like that.
So 50 pips on that example there. Let's move on to the next
So, wow, mind
one.
blowing.
Place the Asian range again. There's your Asian range. And
I bet
as
he
you can see
misses
here-
this entry. Does he say, okay, guys, what you want to do here is you see this new low? We want to start putting our buy limits in here, walk away. Well, I wonder if he's going to say that. Okay, I'm curious.
We have market makers made their false move to the low, passed the Asian low, closed below the Asian low, and look what we have here. Another railroad tracks.
Fucking railroad tracks and golf pattern. It's a hammer on the half hour. He's on the 15. It's called a hammer on the half hour.
Right? So this is a type 1 because we closed below the Asian low, and then we didn't have to wait for the M to form, or the W to form. All right, so we were expecting like that and then go up. No, we didn't need to wait for that because we had railroad tracks right there, right? And then your entry would have been there.
Well, at least he's getting in early on that one. We close above the 15, he's getting in. But why didn't he get in down here? I don't get it. I must just know something he doesn't know. Like, dude, you're buying this. Pre-railroad tracks. Just let it go. Let it happen. Cash out maybe on something here. Then look at this top. Look at this void. Wow. I wonder what will happen when it gets to here. Never makes it, actually. Not for a while. Because once they fill this thing, here's the tipping point. Go through, mini pullback, cleared out, drift back almost to the breakout point. Drift back. His system would not go long here because you crossed underneath the 13. Actually, that's how you're supposed to get on Alexander Elders if you close below. When the bears dip below the 13 EMA, you get in. So it's funny that people even have a different rule on how to treat a moving average. Some people say, well, we're selling here because it broke below. What an amazing, because the curve of this EMA here is kind of turned up a little bit and it's going with it. He's under trading it, so he probably should, because I don't think he knows what's going on auction wise or price wise, why the price even does what it does, how it does it.
And so this trade here would have been another 66 pips.
We're presupposing you held on to that whole fucking thing. So another cherry picked situation, and you could have reduced your time because he hates to be in the market. What he could have done is he could have loaded the wagon here, scalped out 20% to here, moved his stop. I guess if you wanted to move his stop up to break even, right? It's free trade. As soon as it goes above here, hopefully he's cashing out into this, right? So this is why I drift back and then just be done, right? Or take out 50% of the position, let the rest drift up. Of course, with his impatience, is he going to wait for this final gust that clears out this area? Then the painful drift into Asia. Once again, the trap. Top becomes a bottom. Buy limits are sitting here. Sure, you could trade this breakout for a few pips, but how long is that going to go down? And if you have buy limits sitting here and buy limits sitting here, you can take advantage of all sorts of opportunities without having a precision entry, which goes against everybody's idea. Who would go on the racetrack without a precisionally tuned car? So people want to trade the markets, what they perceive is one of these harebrained moving average systems, and their stupid checklist. Do I have enough air in the tires? It's just not like that, man. Market's just got its it's got the way it behaves, and you just got to deal. You got to have a trade plan for the way it behaves.
So if you kept it the whole way,
Ultimate crypto wallet.
Looking at 66 pips.
Don't forget, this is the ultimate guide to trading this stuff too.
If you did not keep it the whole way and you just kept it to mayo, you still got
Oh,
your
no.
30 pips. Okay. So while
Presupposing you got out right there. I mean, this is a really harebrained things, you know. You would have got, yeah, you really, so you mean you really rode that so there and you got out? And, you know, if you look real careful here, you can barely see the wicks. Right here is the first undercut. Top of that to here. It's almost where you nail that to. Just kind of barely makes it in that window. But I'd be happy to make this much money in that amount of time and not be waiting for this bullshit. And if I am waiting for that, if I cash out here, then I could start putting my buy limits on the way to this, and it never makes it. So I'm flat and I'm rebuying. I've sold everything here. A little more work, I suppose. That's the problem there, I think.
while we're talking about this, let's talk about take profits. So typically, if we're moving towards water or mayo, like this example here, where we're in a downtrend here, right?
Did he say water or mayo? Was this guy in Nebraska or something?
And we're going up against it. Our targets are first water and then mayo, right? So a lot of times what you'll see is
Oh, God, because of the colors. Water and then mayo. Wait, let me write this down. We got ourselves some railroad tracks. We got ourselves a cord of wood. Got some mayo, some water. We got ketchup. Is our 13 EMA.
it'll hit water real quick, push back, and then you'll have another hit the mayo, right?
Hit the mayo. Bitch, hit the mayo. Look how they just cream the mayo here, though. I think I found a new signal service. This guy is just, he's really dog whistling to all the farmers in his analysis here.
Now, one thing that I would recommend is when you're setting, if this is a situation that you're in,
Is this a Ruby Ridge guy?
where you're going against, right, the previous trend from yesterday, and you see we're coming down, and then we're going up, right, and then here's water, here's mayo.
Here's water, here's mayo. Hey, I should hook this guy up with ICT. He could turtle soup. I could see these guys opening a Forex restaurant together.
First target is water, second target is mayo. If you're trying to go for mayo, you want to make sure that you
Go for the mayo, baby. Can I get a cord of wood with mayo on the side? Look, there's a cord of wood at the mayo. I'm starting to see this shit. Wait a second. I get it. Wait.
always
Did you see the cord of wood at the mayo? Look at this reversal. I see what he's talking about.
take profit literally right before it
Before the mayo.
physically hits mayo, so like 4 pips or so before getting
So
to
the
mayo.
market has nothing to do with these vacuums. It's really about the mayo. Fucking A. And we all know water and mayo don't mix. If your mayo's a little oily,
That
look
way
at that vegetable oil in there.
you can hit it,
Hit it.
that way you can set your take profit.
We don't hit the bid here. We hit the mayo.
Okay, but
Brother, can I get, is it Hellman's?
so in this example
Bring out the Hellman's.
here, that's what we're going for. Is we're going to water.
Bring out the best. Distilled water and Hellman's mayonnaise. Okay, I'm into it.
and then we're going to mayo. In this
We're
example,
going to mayo. Hey, look, we're below mayo. We just issued a buy alert. We're below the mayo line.
here, same thing.
We've got a structural top bottom issue, but fuck that. We are long on the mayo. We got a top become a bottom, but mayo nailed it. That's what I'm talking about.
Water and mayo. Okay. Now,
Wow.
if it's like this, where it's flat, right? You see how the lines are flat? They are not. Like this is still going down. You see that? So in this example here, where the line.
Anyways, I thought I would take a look at that. I never saw that coming. Not even in the least bit. But I got to get to the comments here. Let's go scroll down and take a look at the if there's any comments. Like, I never thought about mayo and water. Probably comments disabled, right? Not make comments. Love your videos. The way you simplify, lay things out, clear understanding. A new perspective I found trading. Keep it up. Awesome video. Amazing video. I'm so glad people aren't saying that about my stuff. Amazing video. I need a strict setup to trade. Yeah, dude, you need to fucking hire somebody to beat you. We got a masochist here. I need a strict setup to trade with the market makers with entry triggers, exits, and money management. Here it is. Thank you very much. Trade with the markets. Very motivating. Nice video, bro. Love the ending. 2 pairs is my goal. I say 1 pair is my goal. The part that nobody wants to do is the key to success. Very true. Mind-blowing stuff, sir. Heartfelt appreciation. Keep it up. These people are just too clingy. Oh, God, where's the guy going? You're fuck that mayo. Can I run the mayo on the 5-minute chart? You'll make fucking whipped cream out of it. Why do you recommend 5 days a week? Don't you consider Monday and Friday trap days? This guy's onto the trap factor. Be the guy that traps people, though. Be the trapper. Be the ball. Another great video. Thanks, man. You're really helping us out a lot. Thank you. How do we set up the daily high, low on TradingView? Get the fuck off TradingView in the first place. Okay? Fuck TradingView. Amazing. Thank you. I love this strategy. You would. To confirm, I've instances of M or W second leg in the form of a wick. This is invalid. It should be printed closed candle. Uh-oh, we got a stickler. Dude, he's on a 15-minute chart. Anyways, that's that.